In the heart of every bustling city, where love blooms in the fast lanes of life, there lies a hidden rule, a lesson many men learn too late. Relationships are built on trust, care, and the little things that bind two souls together. Beware the seemingly innocent gift of shoes. What appears to be a thoughtful gesture may carry a curse older than the city streets themselves. Before you wrap that box and offer her the perfect pair, remember this: shoes, once gifted, might just lead her footsteps away from you. It's strange, but time-tested warning, whispered from man to man, across bar stools and break room chats. You might laugh it off, convinced it's just a tale, but don't be surprised if one day she uses those shoes to walk out of your life. Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button, like this video as we continue with the story. In a bustling city where the lights never dimmed and the streets echoed with the sounds of busy lives, there was a man named Ken. Ken was the kind of guy everyone wanted to be friends with. Charming, successful, and always dressed in the finest suits. He worked in an upscale tech firm in the heart of the city and was known to be one of the top developers in the industry. Life for him was good, and he had just about everything he could want, except for love. One day, during a company event, Ken met a woman named Tessa. She wasn't just beautiful, she was smart, driven, and had a sense of humor that caught Ken off guard. Tessa worked in marketing for a high-end fashion brand. She had a way with words that made everyone stop and listen. They hit it off immediately. For the next few months, they spent their weekends at fancy restaurants, rooftop bars, and cozy little cafes hidden away in the city's labyrinth. Ken was completely smitten, and it wasn't long before Tessa became his girlfriend. As their relationship grew, so did Ken's desire to spoil her. He bought her designer bags, took her on weekend getaway, and showered her with gifts that most people could only dream of. But there was one thing Ken noticed. Tessa was obsessed with shoes. Not just any shoes, designer heels, limited edition, sneakers, boots that cost more than most people's rent. Every time they passed a boutique, Tessa's eyes would light up at the sight of those perfect pairs displayed in the windows. It was around their 1-year anniversary that Tessa began dropping hints about a particular pair of shoes that were from an exclusive designer, a brand that only the most elite could afford. Ken had noticed her checking the shoes out on her phone reading reviews, and even trying them on in the store. But each time she would reluctantly put them back, saying, maybe someday. Ken decided that someday was now. He made it his mission to surprise her with shoes. After all, what could be a more perfect anniversary gift for the woman who had everything? He spent weeks saving up, skipping a few nights out with the guys, and even taking on an extra project at work to cover the costs. When the day arrived, he handed her the beautiful wrapped box. Tessa's face lights up like a Christmas tree. She tore open the wrapping, revealing the shoes she had been eyeing for months. Oh my God, Ken, you brought them? She squealed, throwing her arms around him. You are the best. Ken felt like a king, proud that he had made her so happy. For the next few days, Tessa wore those shoes everywhere, to work, to dinners, even around the apartment. But then, something strange happened. Tessa started acting distant. At first, Ken thought it was just stress from work. But soon, she was cancelling dates, taking longer to respond to texts, and avoiding their usual weekends hangout. Ken was confused. They had been so happy, and now it felt like there was a wall between them. One night, after a particular cold conversation, Ken decided to confront her. Tessa, is something wrong? You've been acting different lately, he asked, trying to keep the frustration out of his voice. Tessa hesitated, avoiding his eyes. Ken, I've been thinking maybe we need a break. Things have been moving so fast and I don't know if I'm ready for all this. Ken felt like the ground had been pulled from under him. A break? Out of nowhere? What do you mean? We've been doing great, haven't we? He asked, trying to understand. Tessa sighed. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I need space. I don't want to be tied down right now. And just like that, the relationship ended. What a heartbreak. Guys, if you're still watching this story, kindly remember to subscribe, hit the like button as we continue with the story. Ken was devastated. He spent weeks trying to figure out what went wrong. He replayed their conversations in his head, trying to pinpoint the moment things had changed. That's when his friend, Leo, said something that struck with him. You bought her shoes, didn't you? Ken looked at him puzzled. Yeah. So? She loved them. Leo shook his head, a knowing look in his eyes. Bro, don't you know the rule? You never buy shoes for your girl. She will use them to walk right out of your life. Ken laughed it off at first, but the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. The shoes had marked the beginning of the end. It wasn't the price or even the gesture. It was as if the shoes had symbolized something deeper, a shift in the relationship dynamics. By buying them, Ken had unknowingly triggered something in Tessa, a realization that maybe she didn't want to be tied down, that maybe those shoes represented her need for freedom for the moment. Over the years, Ken had similar stories from other friends, men who had bought shoes for their girlfriends, only to watch the relationship crumble shortly after. It became an unspoken rule in their cycle. No matter how much girls love shoes, never ever buy them for her. Ken moved on eventually, but he never forgot the lesson he had learned. He met other women, dated here and there, but every time he thought about buying gifts, shoes were off the table. He shared the story with his friends, his younger cousins, anyone who would listen. It wasn't about the superstition, really. It was about understanding that sometimes certain gestures, no matter how well intended, can change the course of a relationship. So, in the city that never sleeps where love is found and lost amid the chaos of busy lives, men learned to keep their wallets closed when it came to shoes. Because, after all, no one wanted to risk their love walking out the door. Relationships here moved to the rhythm of fast paced careers, late nights, drinks, and fleeting moments. Yet, amidst the constant hustle, one man discovered a rule that seemed as old as time itself. A lesson passed down in the hushed tones from friend to friend. It wasn't about money, status, or even trust. No, this was something simpler but just as powerful. Never buy shoes for your girlfriend. And for Ken, this truth would come crushing down on him in a way he never saw coming. This is the story of how a pair of shoes changed everything. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed, please kindly do so. Turn up your bell notification to notify you whenever I post videos. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.